Hello guys, welcome back to our anime moment. Guys, please like the video and subscribe to my channel. Today is explanation of Martial Universe Season 9 Part 51 based on novel. So let's start. The enormous red light hurtled past like a fire dragon. In a split second, it had already appeared in front of Lin Dong. The scorching hot energy it radiated grilled Lin Dong's skin until it turned searing hot. Lin Dong stared intently at the red light which appeared in front of him. The silver symbol in his hand was suddenly flung forward. Silver light that seemingly covered the sky erupted after the silver symbol was thrown forward. Immediately, the entire thunder world began to tremble. The numerous 100,000 feet large thunderbolts whistling within the thunder world penetrated through space at this moment and appeared in front of Lin Dong. Boom! 100,000 feet large thunderbolts entrenched themselves in front of Lin Dong like lightning dragons, forming the most powerful defense. The tremendous red light suddenly arrived with a loud bang the instant the lightning light gathered. Bang! Red light and the bright lightning glow ruthlessly collide. Earth-shaking thunder resounded and a shockwave that consisted of thunderbolts and flames crazily swept outwards, encompassing 100,000 feet radius. This power, it looks like that little fellow actually obtained the key. The Lightning Emperor was slightly startled as he stared at the source of this energy shockwave. His expression was somewhat strange. This thunder world was created by him. Since Lin Dong had used the power of the thunder world, it was natural that he would be able to detect it. Mo Luo's attention focused on the area in front of him as his brows also knitted slightly. Clearly, he had similarly sensed the enormous amount of energy that Lin Dong had utilized previously. That power far exceeded what he was capable of unleashing. The lightning glow and the flame entwined with each other. A long time later, it gradually disappeared and Lin Dong's body once again appeared in front of the Mu Lingshan trio. Although the current Lin Dong was drenched with fresh blood and appeared quite miserable, it seemed like the previous attack by Mo Luo, which was even more powerful than the first, did not cause him much harm. A silver symbol slowly flickered in the air in front of Lin Dong. Wave after wave of unique fluctuation continued to be emitted. At the same time, it continued to resonate with the entire thunder world. So it is the power of the thunder world. Mo Luo looked at the silver symbol. Only then did he realize the source of Lin Dong's power. He immediately frowned and looked at the Lightning Emperor. This has nothing to do with me. It is this little fellow's good fortune to have obtained the Thunder World Key. The Lightning Emperor laughed. However, there was a gloating feeling in his laughter. Lin Dong glanced at the Lightning Emperor in gratitude from a great distance away. If he had not relied on the silver symbol to activate the strength of the Thunder World previously, it was likely that he would be unable to handle the second attack from Mo Luo. Crack! As the silver symbol flickered with a lightning glow, a crack suddenly appeared. Finally, it emitted a crack sound and shattered without warning. Lin Dong's expression immediately changed when he saw the silver symbol shatter. Little fellow, the power of the Thunder World is not as terrifying as you imagine. Mo Luo and I are individuals of the same level. Being able to rely on the power of this place to block one attack is already the limit. The Lightning Emperor chuckled after seeing this and was not surprised. Lin Dong laughed bitterly upon hearing this. Looks like it was indeed extremely difficult to use the Thunder World's power to fight Mo Luo. Was the strength of a Samsara stage expert ancestral symbol controller truly so frightening? Are you going to receive the third strike? Mo Luo stared at Lin Dong. For some unknown reason, his tone had become a lot gentler. 2 failed attacks were sufficient to astonish him. It has already come to this. I cannot simply give up. A stubborn smile was revealed on Lin Dong's bloody young face as he softly said, "Your 3 great divine objects have been rendered useless. The Thunder World Key has also broken. There is perhaps no longer a need for this third strike." Mo Luo spoke in a low voice. "Elder Mo Luo, please attack." Lin Dong firmly stared at Mo Luo. His voice was also quite low and revealed no intention of retreating. Mo Luo looked at the tough and unyielding young man. A moment later, the warmth on his face once again turned back into indifference. He nodded slowly and said, It will be as I said before. I will not hold back. Crimson-red flame swiftly surged out from within his body after Mo Luo's voice sounded. The soaring temperature caused space itself to distort. The blazing ancestral symbol's power? Isn't this too much? How can this little fellow endure such an attack given his current strength? The Lightning Emperor finally frowned and commented in a deep voice after seeing this. I will protect his Yuan spirit. Mo Luo spoke in a faint voice. Soon after, he clenched his hand gently. Crimson flames that seemingly covered the sky gradually rose. Finally, it turned into a raging burning sun above his head. Lin Dong, it is not too late for you to change your mind now. Mo Luo placed both of his hands behind his back. His eyes were indifferent as he stared at Lin Dong in the distance and said. Lin Dong's mouth parted into a smile. He slowly shook his head in a determined manner. Mo Luo seemed to sigh softly after seeing this. Immediately, his eyes turned cold as the scorching 10,000 feet large sun instantly swept forth. Bang bang bang. The thunderbolts within the thunder world were immediately scattered and destroyed wherever the scorching sun passed. The overbearing blazing ancestral symbol had directly pushed back the lightning energy. Lin Dong lifted his head and gazed at the rapidly approaching scorching sun which contained a terrifying power. The Yuan power within his body seemed to have started to burn at this moment. The blazing sun instantly neared. Lin Dong did not seem to have put up any defense as the flames exploded and devoured him. Bang bang. 100,000 feet large cluster of flames enveloped Lin Dong. The entire area seemed to have been turned into a sea of fire. Even space itself was distorted under the scorching flames. This is too ruthless. The Lightning Emperor looked at the sea of flames in the distance as he frowned and said. You bastard. Mu Lingshan observed this scene from nearby as her eyes immediately turned red. After which, she directly grabbed the life-death coffin cover and viciously smashed it at Mo Luo. Mo Luo waved his sleeve. A fiery red light cluster surrounded Mu Lingshan. Regardless of how she swung, it was impossible for her to break the barrier. It should be over. I will find his Yuan spirit. As for his physical body, I will help him to refine one after I bring him back to my flame divine hall. Mo Luo spoke in a faint voice. Soon after, he looked towards the sea of fire as he prepared to extract Lin Dong's Yuan spirit from it. Eh? However, he was just about to act when the Lightning Emperor suddenly exclaimed in shock. His eyes turned towards the middle of the sea of fire. At the same time, Mo Luo also sensed it as a trace of disbelief appeared within his eyes. How is this possible? Mo Luo was stunned as he mumbled to himself. A skinny figure slowly appeared from within the sea of flames which filled the area. After which, he stepped on the flames which could incinerate a profound death stage expert into ashes as he slowly walked out. Inside the light barrier, Mu Lingshan also stopped moving. Her large eyes were filled with astonishment as she looked at the figure within the sea of fire. Rustle, rustle. The entire thunder world descended into silence. Only the faint sound of footsteps from that figure stepping out from the flames slowly echoed. The figure gradually walked out, becoming increasingly clear as he finally appeared within the sights of the three individuals. At this moment, they finally discovered that a bright red light covered that human figure. At the middle of the light barrier was a crimson palm-sized ancient tablet. A fluctuation spread from within it. This fluctuation seemed to be from the same source as the power of the blazing ancestral symbol. That ancient tablet is actually able to guard against an attack from the blazing ancestral symbol. The Lightning Emperor immediately cried out in surprise after seeing this scene. Mo Luo's expression was ugly. His eyes stared intently at the bright red palm-sized ancient tablet. He could feel the blazing ancestral symbol within his body emit a strange humming sound when the ancient tablet appeared. Lin Dong finally exited the sea of flames as the bright red light barrier around him slowly disappeared. At the same time, he extended his hand and the crimson ancient tablet landed in it. Soon after, he lifted his head and smiled slightly at the somewhat rigid Mo Luo. Elder Mo Luo, I win. Bright red flames burned and rose to the sky. The light from the flames shone onto Lin Dong's young face, reflecting his outline. The corner of his mouth still had a trace of blood, but his face currently had a charisma that would cause one's expression to change. What is that? Mo Luo's eyes stared intently at the crimson ancient tablet in Lin Dong's hands. He finally asked hoarsely a short while later. The current him was still unable to recover from the fact that the blazing ancestral symbol was ineffective against Lin Dong. Standing beside him, the Lightning Emperor was also a little lost for words. It was likely that he did not expect that Mo Luo's most powerful attack would actually be ineffective against Lin Dong. This outcome was something that even the devouring ancestral symbol was unable to achieve. Lin Dong waved the crimson ancient tablet in his hand. The item was naturally the ancient divine flame tablet that he had obtained from the space where the Flame Master was in a deep slumber. As the first owner of the blazing ancestral symbol, the ancient divine flame tablet naturally possessed strength similar to the blazing ancestral symbol. This was the main reason why Lin Dong was able to remain unharmed after Mo Luo used his most powerful attack. An item left behind by the first owner of the blazing ancestral symbol. It is called the Ancient Divine Flame Tablet, Lin Dong softly replied. Ancient Divine Flame Tablet. It is actually something that belongs to the Flame Master. Mo Luo frowned tightly. Only then did he slowly relax. Immediately, he shook his head helplessly. Although his mastery over the blazing ancestral symbol was considered to nearly complete, it clearly paled in comparison to the Flame Master, who was a peak expert even during the ancient times. This ancient divine flame tablet allows me to be immune to an attack from the blazing ancestral symbol. If Senior Mo Luo had used your own Samsara stage abilities to attack me, I'm afraid that I would be unable to take the third strike. Lin Dong laughed. His words were true indeed. Currently, he had already used up all his trump cards and skills. The only thing left was the ancient divine flame tablet. However, this was only effective if Mo Luo used his blazing ancestral symbol to attack him. This was considered a gamble. Fortunately, Lin Dong emerged as the winner. Mo Luo, who did not wish to give up on the Thunderbolt ancestral symbol, ultimately chose to unleash his strongest attack. However, he did not expect that his so-called strongest attack was coincidentally completely useless against Lin Dong. TSK, what a formidable little fellow. Mo Luo, you have lost. The Lightning Emperor involuntarily praised. This outcome was truly a shocking one. Who would have expected that a Samsara stage expert and ancestral symbol owner would actually lose out to a younger generation member, who was merely at profound life stage? Although this might only be a 3-strike agreement, it would definitely allow Lin Dong's name to tower over the entire Chaos Demon Sea if word of this spread. Mo Luo was absent-minded for a moment. Finally, he sighed and shook his head. He said, "You have indeed won." Lin Dong's eyes quickly revealed a wild joy upon hearing this. The intense pain that was emitted all over his body died down significantly at this moment. He was aware that given Mo Luo's status and character, he would definitely not go back on his words. Putting in this way, he had genuinely won the rights to the Thunderbolt ancestral symbol from Mo Luo. Mo Luo looked at an excited Lin Dong before he involuntarily laughed. Even he did not expect this outcome. However, Mo Luo lifted his head. He looked at the 10,000 feet large lightning sun suspended in the sky before both his eyes narrowed. He was quiet for a moment before he said, "You can have the Thunderbolt ancestral symbol. However, I need to take away an essence of the Thunderbolt ancestral symbol." Take away an essence of the Thunderbolt ancestral symbol. Lin Dong was startled. What are you planning to do? If you extract an essence from the Thunderbolt ancestral symbol, the Thunderbolt ancestral symbol will be incomplete. Standing beside him, the Lightning Emperor frowned as he spoke in a deep voice. I have my own plan. If the Thunderbolt ancestral symbol is absent from this plan, I will at least require its essence force. Mo Luo explained. Why? Lin Dong asked. This is because I need it as a bait. Mo Luo replied in a faint voice. Bait? Lin Dong focused his eyes. There are currently many Yimo hiding in this world and they are an extremely powerful threat. Moreover, we have very little information about them. This time around, I plan to use the Thunderbolt ancestral symbol as a bait and lure some Yumo out. Of course, the Thunderbolt ancestral symbol currently belongs to you. Hence, I will take a step back and extract a Thunderbolt essence in order to create a fake Thunderbolt ancestral symbol. Mo Luo said. Lin Dong's expression was slightly altered. Clearly, he did not expect that Mo Luo was actually planning on taking the initiative to lure the Yumo out. Wasn't he afraid that his Flame Divine Hall would end up following the same path as the Lightning Cave? He was clearly inviting trouble onto himself. Qingji will also participate. Mo Luo looked at Lin Dong and added, Elder Qingji. Lin Dong was startled. All of you are really bold. You are actually planning on using the Thunderbolt ancestral symbol to lure the Yumo. The Lightning Emperor's expression was a little grave. Even he was gravely shocked by Mo Luo's guts. The Yumo's behavior has been getting increasingly mysterious over the years. This has caused me to feel uneasy. This time around, I am planning to set up a trap to lure some Yumo out. Perhaps I might be able to obtain some information as a result, Mo Luo said. Hence, if I cannot obtain the Thunderbolt ancestral symbol, I can only choose this inferior option. Lin Dong was quiet. A moment later, he asked softly, when will your plan begin? In 3 months' time. I will also head to the Flame Divine Hall 3 months later and protect the Thunderbolt essence. Regardless of whether the plan succeeds, I will retrieve it. Lin Dong spoke in a deep voice. Although merely extracting a Thunderbolt essence would not hurt the foundation of the Thunderbolt ancestral symbol, it would cause the Thunderbolt ancestral symbol to be incomplete. It was obvious that Lin Dong would not allow a perfect Thunderbolt ancestral symbol to end up with defects. Mo Luo hesitated for a moment before he nodded. In that case, Senior Mo Luo, please extract a Thunderbolt essence. Lin Dong inhaled a deep breath of air and said, Thank you very much. Mo Luo slowly replied. Without further ado, his body moved and he appeared in front of the 10,000 feet lightning sun. Both his hands were extended and they actually turned into 2 enormous flame palms. After which, they were extended into the lightning sun. Rumble. Bright lightning light wildly flashed. A moment later, the flame palm was slowly drawn out. At this juncture, another cluster of extremely bright lightning glow was present on it. An ancient symbol seemed to have been vaguely formed while a mysterious ripple spread. This ancestral symbol essence can only be extracted using another ancestral symbols, when it does not have an owner. On a whole, however, having a small part missing is not considered as a major flaw. The Lightning Emperor spoke by the side. Lin Dong nodded slightly as he softly said, however, I will make it perfect once again. Mo Luo waved his sleeve after he had extracted a Thunderbolt essence from the Thunderbolt ancestral symbol in the sky. After which, he kept the essence. He moved and appeared in front of Lin Dong. I have already achieved my objective and will not continue to remain here. Hopefully, you will be able to successfully refine the Thunderbolt ancestral symbol. If you do not come to the Flame Divine Hall in 3 months' time, I will assume that you have most likely failed. In that case, I will retrieve the Thunderbolt ancestral symbol the next time I return. Mo Luo glanced at Lin Dong and said. Lin Dong nodded. He understood the dangers involved in refining the Thunderbolt ancestral symbol. If he fails, he might have to pay with his life. Lightning Emperor, farewell. Mo Luo turned around, cupped his hands together towards the Lightning Emperor and said. Hopefully you will succeed. Ha, it is truly a little regretful that I am unable to fight alongside with you guys, owners of the ancestral symbols. The Lightning Emperor laughed. I will destroy all Yumo in this world. Mo Luo's voice was calm. However, it was filled with an unquestionable determination. That perseverance caused Lin Dong by the side to have a slight change in expression. Goodbye. Mo Luo once again cupped his hands together. He looked deeply at Lin Dong before turning around. His body turned into a fiery light that shot into the distance. Finally, it cut through space and disappeared. Lin Dong watched Mo Luo disappear. The hands under his sleeves slowly tightened. He could sense that a major incident was likely going to erupt in the Chaos Demon Sea in 3 months' time. Little fellow, enjoy your spoils. Of course, that is if you can succeed. The Lightning Emperor laughed. His eyes quickly looked at the huge lightning sun in the sky and muttered, "It is likely that the Thunderbolt ancestral symbol will be quite satisfied with you as its new owner." Lin Dong lifted his head to look at the sun before his expression gradually became firm. He had finally found a second ancestral symbol after so many years. Regardless of how difficult the refinement process was, he would definitely persevere on. Lin Dong inhaled a deep breath of air as he thought of this. His feet stepped on the empty space before he slowly walked towards the 10,000 feet large lightning sun. Finally, his body gradually vanished into the bright lightning sun in front of Mu Lingshan's anxious eyes. The refinement of the Thunderbolt ancestral symbol has officially begun. It was a completely chaotic world. The sky and land seemed to be coexisting in an undefined state. Lin Dong's body drifted amidst this chaos. His eyes were a little lost as he blindly observed his surroundings. Following which, he clenched his hand and muttered to himself, "This is, inside the Thunderbolt ancestral symbol, right?" Having understood the reason, Lin Dong gradually calmed down soon after. Having experienced the trial of the devouring ancestral symbol, he understood that if he wanted to obtain the strength of an ancestral symbol, he must first be acknowledged by that ancestral symbol. It was likely that this step was taking place right now. In the past, in order for Lin Dong to be acknowledged by the devouring ancestral symbol, he spent half a year within the lonely darkness. Only then did he manage to find an exit and obtain the acknowledgement of the devouring ancestral symbol. Lin Dong collected himself. Following which, he sat down in mid-air while his eyes calmly observed the changes of this chaotic world. Chaos rose. There seemed to be a vast and mighty energy gathering within the mess. Soon after, an extremely low and deep thunder roar was suddenly emitted within the quiet chaos. The thunder roar was not loud initially and it felt just like a newborn baby. Meanwhile, that soft sound was accompanied by a curiosity towards this world. Bang bang. With the flow of time, the thunder roar gradually became louder. In the end, it actually reverberated throughout this entire chaotic world. It was possible for Lin Dong to see a ray of silver light surfacing from the source of the lightning roar. An ancient yet powerful fluctuation quietly spread. Is this the birth of the Thunderbolt ancestral symbol? Lin Dong looked at the lightning glow born within the chaos and pondered. Bang! The chaotic world suddenly changed while this thought flashed past Lin Dong's mind. The surrounding chaos immediately turned into a lightning world. 100,000 feet large thunderbolts continuously descended onto the world like lightning dragons. The rumbling noise was simply deafening. Lin Dong's skin was numb as he looked at this lightning world. This sight even caused his soul to stir. The outside thunder world was nothing compared to this place. Yang, how exactly do I pass this test? Lin Dong involuntarily inquired in his heart. It seems like you will have to suffer in order to obtain the acknowledgement of the Thunderbolt ancestral symbol. Yang's feeble voice sounded out. However, Lin Dong could hear a gloating tone from within it. Suffer? Lin Dong carefully asked. Clap. However, just as Lin Dong was planning to ask for more answers, a 10,000 feet large lightning suddenly cut through the sky. It penetrated through the air and ruthlessly smashed against Lin Dong. Lin Dong lifted his head in shock. Silver light filled his jet-black pupils. Due to that thunderbolt's frightening speed, he was unable to dodge it in time. All he could do was simply watch as that thunderbolt smashed against his body. Bang! A low and deep voice spread. Lin Dong's body felt as though it had suffered a heavy blow as he directly flew off 10,000 feet. Following which, he spat fresh blood wildly while a lightning glow flashed over his body. After which, it crazily drilled into his body. Ah! An indescribable intense pain spread across Lin Dong's body. It felt as though every bone in his body was shattered by that thunderbolt. Cold sweat covered his body and even with Lin Dong's tenacity, he involuntarily let out a sharp and miserable cry due to that intense pain. The Thunderbolt ancestral symbol has a domineering character. It is not as mysterious and unfathomable as the devouring ancestral symbol. Trying to gain its acceptance is not a difficult process. All you need to do is to survive after it strikes you 100,000 times. Yang casually mentioned. 100,000 times? Damn it, are you trying to play with me? Lin Dong's expression changed drastically as he involuntarily cursed. Just the first lightning strike had already left him in such a miserable state. If 100,000 thunderbolts struck him, it was likely that there would be nothing left of him. You have already entered this place and it is impossible for you to leave now. Hence, try your best. Yang's faint voice directly caused Lin Dong's expression to turn pale. There is not much I can do to help you in this place. 100,000 thunderbolts. Forget about you. Even a profound death stage expert would be reduced into ashes. However, there are times when the perseverance of a person is even stronger than one's physical body. With a mountain-like perseverance, I shall stand unbending. Only through repeated tempering will I become great. Yang's voice became increasingly softer. In the end, it completely disappeared. Yang! Yang! Lin Dong hurriedly cried out loud within his heart. However, there was no longer any response. Immediately, he felt his face turn green. Was this fellow simply going to abandon him and leave? Bang! While Lin Dong was hurriedly shouting out loud, one could see that there was another 10,000 feet large thunderbolt suddenly whistling downwards. It was like a ferocious lightning dragon that ruthlessly shot over. Damn it! Lin Dong's face was green as he furiously cursed. However, he had only cursed out loud when that 10,000 feet large thunderbolt landed on his body. A thunder resounded before fresh blood spurted forth. At this moment, Lin Dong's physical body had been blasted into mincemeat, appearing quite miserable. Damn you! Lin Dong's body was blasted until it was charred black. With his hair straightened, he promptly clenched his teeth, lifted his head and roared towards the sky. Bang bang! The roar sounded. Another thunderbolt quickly followed. It directly sent Lin Dong flying 10,000 feet. Damn you, come at me again! An intense shattering pain rose from within Lin Dong's body. It gradually caused Lin Dong's eyes to turn scarlet red. The stubbornness nature deep within his bones surged forth. He staggered to his feet and cried out furiously towards the sky. Bang bang! These thunderbolts clearly did not give in to Lin Dong. One after another, huge and terrifying thunderbolts continuously poured down and ruthlessly smashed against Lin Dong's body. Damn you! Bang! Damn! Bang! I'm greater than your mother. Bang! I'll slaughter your whole family. Bang! Countless lightning dragon-like thunderbolts whistled within the lightning world. Finally, they continuously smashed towards that tiny human figure. Loud rumbling noises reverberated across the entire place. This wild and violent explosion continued for a long period of time. Initially, Lin Dong would still keep count of the number of times that he was struck. As time went on, however, the injuries within his body became increasingly serious and his mind began to turn blurry. It made him forget the number of times that he was struck. All he could feel was the intense pain, which was spreading across every inch of his body, and the countless number of times he lingered between life and death. Under the explosive force from those thunderbolts, the bones and meridians within his body seemed to have completely turned into dust. Lin Dong's mind was turning blurry, but his body did not collapse. The stubbornness and strength drilled deep within his bones made him as strong as a rock, and did not allow him to completely lose himself amidst the thunderbolt strikes. My heart is like a rock, persevere like a mountain. A muttering sound continued to resound within Lin Dong's heart. It had become the only thing that he could rely on under this terrifying thunderbolt attack. Lin Dong's body appeared terribly weak in front of the lightning. However, his mind was unafraid of the lightning. The lightning in the sky continued to rain down in a merciless fashion. From some unknown moment, Lin Dong's body had begun to float in mid-air. His body was completely damaged by the lightning strikes. Even the yuan power flowing within his medians had completely disappeared. The three great divine objects within his body had hid to the deepest part of his body and were unable to provide any assistance to Lin Dong. Lin Dong, who had lost all protection, was completely exposed to the lightning that covered the sky. However, he was surprised to find that despite the fact that his physical body was almost ruined, it did not turn into ashes and scatter off. A trace of determination and desire made Lin Dong just like an obstinate stone. Regardless of how the wind blew, he continued to persevere and preserve his heart. Bang bang bang. The lightning continued to rain down wildly from the sky. 1,000, 5,000, 10,000. No one knew just how many thunderbolts had struck him. However, Lin Dong, who should have been turned into ashes, appeared just like a boat on the monstrous shocking waves. It swayed wildly, but it ultimately did not capsize. Time slowly went by. A naked young man quietly sat on the empty space. His shriveled body gradually began to emit a faint lightning glow. Both his hands formed certain seals while he wore a solemn expression. There seemed to be a majestic aura similar to that of the lightning emperors, quietly radiating from him. This video will end here.